Rivals, brought to you by Utah Ice Centers, has arrived. And of course, social media has informed Jason and I that we are now friends. It's a friend-iversary.
It's a friend-iversary.
We've been social media friends for 3 years.
Dude, I woke up this morning and saw that, and I was so pumped. I had the little video playing with me and Scott Mitchell, and I was like, I'm official now. I'm friends with the quarterback.
In case you wanted to know, here we are. We're friends for life.
So I posted it right away, man, with a little note to Scott, knowing that
Jason got teary-eyed about it too as well.
I did.
Well, you know, hope springs eternal, because we always feel that life ends when the football season gets over, and spring football is in the air. Can you believe it? It's a week away from the University of Utah, and shortly thereafter from BYU.
And a lot of college spring football.
Yeah, so our alma maters are going into a new season. A lot of changes at BYU and the coaching staff.
Yeah.
A lot of continuity coming back for the Utes, and it's going to be an interesting year to see what happens. But spring football, always everyone's optimistic and hopeful. So what are the Cougars hopeful for this year?
Oh, man. You know what? Well, they're hopeful for everything this year because they can do nothing but go up, right?
Be careful when you say that, Jason, because it could get worse.
It could get worse.
And it might.
It could get worse. No, we're hoping and we hope. I mean, man, I'm going to miss Ty Detmer, I think, and you know what, and Ben Cahoon and Impey and those guys. I think they got a raw deal. With that being said, you know, moving forward, I think you got to hope for Grimes, and it's going to be really interesting. You're going to watch him and go and see what he does this in spring ball and the offense he starts to implement, and see if that can help fix some things next year. But they got a lot of other bigger issues than just X's and O's to solve at BYU. And that's what I want to watch.
It's scary, kind of where the program is, the fact that it's independent, the fact that the front end of the season is always loaded with really good teams, and so it's hard to get off to a good start. But I think the one positive that I see out of this, and we'll see how it unfolds, is I believe Tanner Mangum is going to be the starting quarterback again.
Should be
for BYU, and he's probably going to fit better into what Grimes wants to do, and he's also probably going to fit better into what Kalani wants to do, and that is we're going to play to our defense. We're going to be a spread offense. We're going to get really simple with the reads, and I think this will help Tanner get more comfortable and have a better experience than what he had. And I'm with you. I was adamant and just very disappointed that Ty Detmer was let go. I understood what he was trying to do. I believe in it. You watch the team, the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl this year, and that's how they develop quarterbacks, and that's what I think he would like to have implemented in that type of philosophy on offense.
Yeah.
Very challenging to do. In the college
people
setting,
need to go listen to our audio cast that's longer than this session that really speaks in depth to this whole issue of Ty Detmer and the complication of a pro style offense and converting over to that. Because I agree with you 100%, Scott. This is better for what Kalani wants to accomplish and more simplistic. And Mangum, who struggled with a pro style concept and the complication of it, should be able to perform better under this system.
You have a former offensive line coach type of player or coordinator, and they're gonna focus on running the ball first, and they've got a better guy if that's what they want to do. I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm not excited about what it's going to be, but it'll probably give them the best
that's what they're going to do. That's
right.
what they're going to do. And like you said, Kalani comes from the Kyle Woodingham school of thought, and defense first and take care of the ball. And
just don't lose the game for us.
Don't lose the game for us. And I understand, from my sources of how he really hamstrung, Ty Detmer and what he was trying to accomplish with the offense and how he wanted to call it, and really limited him on what he could call in a game and the game plan. So Kalani's going to get what he wants. We're going to see how that goes.
See how it plays out.
But you know what? Their defense has to get a lot better than what it was last year. So we'll have to see in spring ball.
It'll be interesting, and it's always fun to watch all this, and we'll definitely look at it more.
We're going to have to go to some practices. We're going to have to hit Utah's and BYU's.
So Utah, on the other hand, returns about 70% of their offense and defense on a team that was kind of inconsistent all year. The quarterback's back this year. I think everyone's feeling like, hey, this is going to be a really big year for us. This might be the year that we push to go to the Pac-12 Championship.
Yeah.
And that also scares me, because it's like, well, how many chances are you going to get? And if we just keep seeing the same consistent average 500 team at Utah, will the folks get impatient and will they look for a new coaching coach?
With higher
Whittingham,
expectations.
right? And
right.
And who's been great. Who's been a wonderful coach at Utah. But I think if this is a big year for Utah to make that push, a lot of these great quarterbacks in the Pac-12 are moving on. Guy at Washington State, USC, UCLA, a lot of these guys are going. It's kind of a transition year for most of the teams in the Pac-12. So this is a good opportunity, probably as good an opportunity for Utah to get into it, because that's all I'm interested in. How are you going to win the championship? How do you go play? I mean, how cool is it to say, hey, we're going to go play in the Rose Bowl? Come on, it's like
that would be
that's
great
just an awesome thing
for the program,
right? It'd be tremendous. So the one thing that I think will be really interesting to me at Utah is Jack Tuttle, who's an early enrollee who will be in spring football, and to see how good this guy is, because he's like one of legitimately top picks in the country as quarterback. And he early committed to Utah and has stuck with it all the way through and got pressure from the big-time schools to decommit, and he didn't. He stayed with it. So is he going to push Tyler Huntley right now? Yeah. Because the way things are, it's a different deal.
And like you said, in college football today, coaches are more willing to bring in a true freshman, redshirt freshman, young guy, and give him the reins, which is where the game's gone.
So Rivals has arrived, and now it's time to go. Okay, we're gonna get into a lot more detail on this in our audio cast, and even a few stories from our time in spring football. You don't want Jason's got a pivotal story that happened in his life through spring football. You don't want to miss it. So text Rivals to 65537. Go to all those social sites and like us, and we will catch you soon.